And now, coming to you from the Pensado Media Center, powered by Westlake Pro.
Every now and then you got to have a greatest hits. The Total Studio IK Multimedia Contest is banging. A brand new ITL. You're at the place. It's Pensado's place. Hey everybody, it's great to see you, as well as our incredible sponsors who are 1500 or Nothing, the Blackbird Academy, Westlake Pro, Avid, Warm Audio, NAMM, and Fab Factory. As we've been telling you, and as you guys have been submitting, the IK Multimedia Total Studio Contest is completely off the chain and rolling. Remember, this is a package of a bunch of their software where you literally can plug in and go, no pun intended. And for all you guys, make sure you get your entries in. Go to this link below me. You saw all the goodness that Total Studio is, and you don't want to miss out on this. So again, enter at this link, and then we'll see you there. And now, this week's ITL.
I'm always kind of trying to find new things to use on my stereo bus. I think the stereo bus, if there is a sacred part of the mix process, I think it's the stereo bus. It's a hallowed ground that only the best of the best can make it there. I find myself using less and less, and I want to share with you what I'm currently using a lot of, and this is going to change in 6 months, but I want to give you some philosophy. I try to put my EQ as early in the process as I can, and then some plugins might have a little less headroom than others. These I don't know about, I haven't checked them out, but I don't like to have too much gain going into any one of these plugins. And so this is a mastering plugin, so to speak, from UAD. Sometimes the 200 conflicts, so I pull a little bit of that out. On this 500, I find myself using a little more 3-4-5 lately than I've ever used. I'm not sure why. So if you guys could come up with a reason, put in the comments and let me know. So that's what this is trying to do. I got this idea from Bob Horn. I use this very gently. I'll show you what it's doing. Nothing, right? Well, it is doing something. Check it without it. Very subtle. Now on the waves when this analog up is not actually adding noise as much as it's I don't know what to call it. It feels to me like it's limiting a little bit, jacked up the volume a little bit, but it's coloring the sound in a way that I like. It's subtle, so experiment with these settings. It's okay to move the meters, but I try not to get my meters much past 2 in here. Right now, it's not really doing much. And then this guy's one of my favorites from Acoustica, and my friend Luca Predalesi. I just like saying Luca Predalesi. This knob here is money. Watch this. Money, 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 money. Now this guy is something new to me. My friend Michaela Canova, known worldwide as Canova. In fact, this is a preset he showed me. Check this out. This plugin allows you to determine how your clipping is going to sound once you go a little past 0. Right now we're not hitting 0, but it's still helping me shape the things that are getting close to 0. Try and visualize that in your head, these peaks. Well, you know what? Instead of visualizing it in your head, visualize it right here. Okay, see these peaks? The red ones? I'm determining how they clip. Now watch. I'm gonna say something that you guys might flame me for, which I enjoy, by the way. I think using a clipping plugin is a bit of an art form, not a technical science. And I think that those that try to make those that try to make it technical and too technical are missing the point. I think it has to be artistic. I think it has to be musical. I think it has to contribute something to the mix that's going to give the listener some sort of feeling or experience that's unique. And this plug-in's a good choice. Very inexpensive, by the way. And then here's the star of the show. I've spoken to you about this plug-in before. I'm addicted to it. This is the LUFS setting, and this is an important number because it determines how your stuff's going to sound on Spotify and iTunes. We've talked about this plugin. Read up on LUFS. Basically, all it is a compressor feeding a limiter. The limiter is handling more transients. This is handling more of the body of the sound. And this is my little real-time analyzer that you can't see. Now let's take a look at this and see what we're doing. So we're getting some gain, but we're also controlling the sound in a manageable way. If this went out the way it is, I'd be happy, real happy. But the rest of the world is kind of clamping us down a little bit, us guys that like things loud. So I'd probably touch it up a little bit more, maybe bring it down about a dB in volume. But right now I'm happy to let it go out loud. We'll see. So an EQ, a little coloring, and possible compression of some sort, but mainly color. An EQ that gives you something more than just frequency. This thing is a monster. Check this out. So the color from here and then down here with the J70, what is that, J37? Those are my color, and then this is where some of the art comes in. And we got a hit song. See you on the charts.
After 350 episodes, there's just some gems, and every now and then we like to go back and revisit one. Check this one out. Imagine this. On the road at 13 with Superstars. Grenade was his first hit record. He's Bruno Mars' creative partner. He's got songs on Adele. He's got a current #1 record with Lucas Graham. He plays everything. He's in huge demand. He happens to also be a loving dad and a great dude. Another Compton superstar. Talking about straight out of Compton. This is a bad, bad boy. We recently caught up, and please enjoy our conversation with the incomparable Brody Brown.
Sure.
What up, man?
Brody, what's up?
How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks
Dave,
for having
fire
me.
away. Oh, we're happy to have you, man.
Brody, your work with Bruno Mars has really been something special to me because I grew up with live instruments, but I don't use them too much now. School me on how you use live instruments in that format. Uptown Special, just an amazing record.
Yeah, the way they put that body of work together was great. Without going to disco or red, they use a lot of real instruments. On that, and dealing with Bruno, anytime he's around, any production, songwriting, it has to be real instruments. I don't have nothing against the Ableton, and like I love Ableton, but when it comes down to like actually playing a Juno, right. tweaking the frequency on the Juno, or that matters the most in those, and it brings out the realness that we're trying to capture from years ago.
See, I think it was interesting because when that record came out, Chongor, who's my right hand in Coast to Corner office, called me and he was just like, hey. And my instant reaction was I tied it back to the records I grew up with because it felt like that, which was that whole, horn bands, kind of fun, the time, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Parts.
Yeah.
Everybody playing their part.
But also, too, you immediately know it's a new record, though, too.
Well,
that's what's so hard to do. I don't know how you guys did that.
Well, that's the brilliance I was getting ready to go to, because it felt to me like guys who are your age and have your influences, but respect and revere what real instrumentation does. you found a balance. There was a
Right.
balance. Was that fair?
Yeah, it's more than fair because at the end of the day, we still have to cater to, you know, to children.
Yeah.
That's
right.
So
right.
that matters. So, you know, if you get a good drum loop, if it's boom, pa, that's the drum loop. It's gonna get you dancing.
Yeah.
Then you put a dope bass line to it. Then you build and build. You know, it's nothing
Yeah.
new, but a lot of people forgot about that format.
And it's also hard to do in a way where things feel original and new.
Right.
Like some people copy
Right.
and it can be new and be a hit, but to be original
Yeah.
and old and new at the same time, that's a whole other.
Comes with the message of the record too.
Ah.
You know, like
Good point.
The writing of it. So
Yeah. Because when you see Bruno perform, he's that dude. Like
Yeah,
it's
he lives what he's talking about.
and he, you know, it's what I grew up on. It's when I
Right.
go to, I was like, you know, I watched the Super Bowl when he performed with a whole bunch of old people.
Oh, that was.
They acted like they were
incredible.
18. I was
Yeah.
like, y'all are on crutches and stuff. You can't be
He's
jumping
a,
up.
he's,
You know what I'm saying? It's pretty amazing.
he's amazing. Yeah.
How did the Adele record "All I Ask" on the new album come about? That must have been describe that moment when you knew it was finally going to come out. Or describe any moment involved with that.
I had a few moments, you know, here and there, but when, you know, Bruno called me, he was like, yo, we got a deal. Come in, like, whatever. Like, he's always calling me, like, you know, to make sure I'm even a part, you know, and I thank him for that.
That's amazing.
You know, a billion people can do our job.
Right, right. But he calls
But,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, he called me, he said, yo, we working on the deal. Can you come? And I'm like, of course, I'll be there first thing smoking. And of course I wasn't there the first thing smoking. I think I was a little late. But I walked in and she was there. You know, she's early, she's prompt, very professional. And her manager was there and she was there and I shook her hand and she was like, oh, hello. Like, you know. And I was like,
tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
She actually said, hello,
No.
it's me. No, I'm
Right.
just,
She ordered a bag.
all right, well, that's whatever works.
yeah. But long story short, we did the song. We actually did 2 records, and the other one is great too. But she picked the simple, you know, straight to the point ballad. You know, she has a lot of ballads, you know,
Right.
and they're all great. But this one was something special to her, I guess, and she chose it. It was great working with her. I mean, without a mic, her voice fills the room.
Really?
You know, it's like,
Wow.
that's for real.
Wow. Wow.
The power in her voice and the way she sings.
So Adele's a vocalist. As you mentioned, she's got this, even without a mic, her voice fills the studio.
Right.
When you're watching her do a vocal, you know, some singers just bring it and they know where they want to go. Some allow themselves to be produced. Sometimes a balance. Did you notice anything in working with her?
I just noticed that she, you know, she doesn't overthink. You know, she didn't overthink none of the records. She was like, you know, I cut it. It's the way I sound. Like,
This is what it is.
This is what it is.
Nice.
You know, please don't second guess the greatest. Type.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she sang it. Whoop.
Wow.
You know that segment on Fallon where they all get in a little room and they're playing like
Toy
kazoos and
instruments.
toy.
Yeah.
She did Hello, and it was as good as the record.
Yeah,
and there's
right.
they're just singing into a crappy, well, not a crappy mic, but just some generic mic, I guess.
Right.
And
Yep.
and like.
It's so good.
That's when I started liking that song. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
When she was just singing
That's
it
real.
with the Roots,
Yeah.
just playing little toy instruments and stuff.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
When now I know this is an emotional thing. How long did it take for you to recover from all the tears and when you fainted, when you realized for the next several years you'll be getting royalties from that record? How long did you cry?
Oh my gosh.
Tears of joy.
I think my heart stopped for a moment before I cried.
That's a big moment.
And then my heart stopped again.
Yeah, that's a big moment.
Might be a good spot to get the mailbox story in.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Come
let's
on,
do it.
man. Come on, man.
Tell the mailbox story.
Our audience wants to know the mailbox story.
You know, there's been plenty of times about the mailbox story, but
Can I start it off?
start it off.
Man, everybody in this room has been poor. Well, not poor, but broke.
Yeah,
Poverty
straight
is
up
a
poor.
different thing than
That's true.
than broke. But you know, back before I moved to LA, I wouldn't go check the mail because it was just bills I couldn't pay anyway.
Right.
So why check it? It just depresses you.
Right.
Wouldn't answer the phone because it was a bill collector. That depresses you. I even had, back then we had answering machines, and I wouldn't even check those. I'd just buy another one and hook it up to that one. So when I get like 4 answering machines in a row.
Call waiting is the best thing ever for broke people.
Oh,
right?
man.
The reason I like this,
like, oh, hell
I
no.
like this
Yeah.
story from Brody is because it shows you guys out there that it's not easy, but his clarity of vision for knowing what he wanted to do wasn't deterred by all the things that life threw at him that were a huge disadvantage. So you borrowed $20 from your mom.
Borrowed $20, you know, more than once and twice and 3 times.
Sure.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and I'm already in the business. I have a publishing deal. Like, this is back then. I'm like, well, you know, like, I'm tired of asking my mom for $20. And it's her last 20.
Right, on top of it.
On top of it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I had to make a change in my life and, like, really get my mind together and be like, you know, I just want to, I want to just write records that's going to, you know, I don't want to play around. And then, again, the mailbox thing is just like, I knew I would stop playing when, you know, the 200, the 300, the 400, you know, K, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, kept coming. I'm just like, oh, like, this is real.
In the mail. Yeah, like you just go to the mailbox.
Mom,
and go,
look.
Wow.
Wow.
Mom, look again, look.
Wow.
You know, it's just amazing.
How did she, you know, because there's a number of things for her besides, you know, potential security, just
Yeah.
watching her boy get to that. She must have just
It was
been on seventh heaven, as well as probably
seventh
fifth
heaven.
Yeah. Right.
Man, she was on cloud 9.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at growing up in Compton, you know, we have a lot of, you know, statistics, you know, and it can be anybody, Hispanic, Black, whoever you are. You can just be caught up in the wrong moment out there and it's a wrap.
That's right. Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
you didn't even do nothing, but you're around someone,
Right.
you know, and that just inspired her to believe in me
Right.
even more, like, oh, he really knows what he's doing.
Right.
I'm not just buying a Yamaha keyboard
For nothing.
from Circuit City.
Right, right.
You know, for nothing. Yeah, like,
Yeah, back in the day.
yeah, like, so it was amazing.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's I know that was a proud moment for
Yeah.
her. Yeah, absolutely.
How many instruments do you play? Because you're mostly self-taught, which,
Yeah.
which impresses me. Did you kind of use the church to?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Drums were your first instrument?
Drums was the first, and then I moved to keyboard, and then I stopped keyboard, and I moved to bass. And then through bass, I started learning guitar. So I can play a little bit of the main.
Do you read
pieces.
as well?
I don't read. I
Yeah.
don't sight read.
Right,
I
right,
can-
right.
Now I know how to chart read. I don't know if
Okay.
that makes a difference. But
Yeah, but absolutely.
Yeah.
And shout out to the church. What church was
oh man, it was my home church, SMT, Shackleford Miracle Temple.
There you go.
Smart church, nothing but this big. you
But
know,
got it
like,
done.
Like, we got it done. Me and my cousins, my auntie, she taught me. A woman.
it? Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, another amazing
Yeah.
point.
When you sit down to work on a record for Game, which your work on all Game stuff is amazing, and then you work on Adele, what's different in your mind? Like from my perspective as a mixer, I have to kind of clean my musical palette and
Right.
go from one to the other. How about you? What are you thinking when you do two different things? Are you thinking genre or?
Of course. Like, and it's hard for me, like, it's not even hard for me to say that, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking, automatically. And some people don't even have that ability to go to jazz, salsa, or, you know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So when I'm thinking of going from Game to Adele, it's definitely genre and approach on what, in that genre, what does she needs?
Right.
Or in that genre, what does he needs?
Right.
So-
right.
Yeah, it's always genre.
And do you
and feel.
Do you get to utilize full Brody from producer to songwriter to different things call for different parts of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to think that way. Like I always say I'm a player on the team. You know, like I can run center, small forward, whatever.
Go small, go big.
Yeah, whatever
you need to do.
I can go through the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the first step.
Yeah.
Hit the three.
Yeah, and I can be the guy mopping the floor.
Yeah, there you go.
When you're working with a hip hop artist that mostly raps, do you tailor the beat to encourage them to do eighth notes or quarter notes, as opposed to like an Adele, where you might encourage her with your beat and your track to do more half notes in the choruses?
Right.
You think like that, or it just flows out of you?
Yeah, it just
ready?
kind of flows. I never know what's coming.
Right.
It's kind of weird, but
How many songs do you have to write to get one top 10 record?
I think 1,000.
I'm glad you said that, because people think that
Maybe
you sit
more.
down and write a hit.
Yeah.
It ain't that way, is it, Herb?
No, and I think what we've learned, the best guys and ladies, they're just writing all the time.
Right.
Like you don't not write, then write. You're just, when it hits you and it comes out of you, it has to come out of
Right.
you. And you, whether you put it in your catalog or stack it or do whatever, but it doesn't stop.
Yeah, and it might take 5 years.
That's right.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, that part, you know, and it was crazy. My first #1 was Grenade.
I love that song.
What a great record.
Yeah, that was my first #1, and it was on the Hot 100 for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wow, like, I don't know what #1 means, but I got one.
Yeah.
And
You saw that check?
that's when I knew what it was.
You're like, bingo.
Oh, #1. You know? So, yeah, that was just crazy, like, just knowing, like, oh, after 23 years of living, or actually 20 years of living,
Amazing.
this is your first, and you've been doing music your whole life.
Right. And then, boom.
Yeah.
I remember, I won't bore you with old man stories, but Maurice White from Earth, Wind & Fire, because I traveled with him, he told me a
know his
number of
son.
things. Oh, Cabran.
Cabran.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just with him. And Cabran has become an audio engineer, actually.
Cool.
He told me a number of things that inspired some of the hit records. Like September was about a riot. And he was watching a riot in D.C., looking out of this hotel room, going, oh my God, and that was the day of the riot. Shining Star was he was having a frustrating period in a studio. He was working at Caribou Ranch in Colorado.
Okay.
And he just walked out, and because it was so dark, it was just him and a star.
Shining Star.
And he went in and there's another, I can't remember the film. I think it's, anyways, there was a song he was stuck on, which I think was After Love Is Gone. And it was stuck for like 6-8 months. He just kind of cataloged. And he went to a horror movie. It wasn't The Shining. I have to remember what it was. And it hit him by the end of the movie. He just ran out to the car and finished it, and off it came. So
That's a good place. Like,
right?
I wish I was like that. Like, I can just go to my car and
And it just,
Yeah.
But you don't know when the point being that inspiration hits you different ways.
Yeah.
And you have to be open to it.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Is that how?
You got to receive it like that. Like, you
that's
can't force.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah, there's a force around you when it comes, but you're not supposed to force it.
What inspires your songwriting? Is it just being open to whatever happens, events, stuff you see? Is it calculated when you think about it?
No, it's not like I look at a light and I'd be like, oh, I should write a song. It's more of a feeling like, my children might be running around me too much. And I'd be like, yo, I gotta get out of here. And that's when like the best comes, because you've been in this hole so much with my children.
Yep.
And finally when you get out, you're like, yes, there's so much to write about. And sometimes it's like, oh, what to write about? Because you finally got the freedom to do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I might take a week off.
Oh, that's great.
I think you have to.
Yeah,
I think
like-
people have to. I think creative people have to recharge.
Yeah.
And step away from it.
It's a
And,
lot.
I disagree completely.
yeah. What do you think?
Pussies, I mean, you want to take time off.
Yeah. Well, you like anger. That's the beauty. You want people to come from pain.
The FCC might get on me for that, but
Okay.
we're talking. Anyway, when you start a song, that creative spark, does it usually start with a track, a chord change, a melody idea?
Oh yeah, definitely melody.
Oh, that's cool. So
I'm
you'll
into
start a
melody.
melody?
Yeah, like even if it's just a singing a melody, like I won't even start with piano first.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I have the melody in my head, I can know what chord changes to go to. And the right chord change is not just, oh, I should put this like this. No, this is what's going to get us there.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, being selfish.
Right. Let me show what I can do.
Yeah, no, there's no show me what you can do in this.
Can I make a
This
request?
business. Make one.
I like it when you sneak a couple of gospel chords in now and then.
Oh.
I want more gospel chords, man.
Listen.
With Bruno and more gospel chords, that's got to work, right, Herb?
Well, not only
man.
that, but what I'm noticing is that Jesus is making both you all turn your chairs. Like you're so into it, you're almost turning around back. I thought you were going to spin.
No, man, I've been waiting to talk to him forever. That's the real deal.
Well, no, listen,
That's the real deal over
I
there.
think that, to your point, like when you listen to Bruno or Sam or a bunch of those folks, right up underneath a lot of that is church.
Oh, man.
And if you grew up in church, church
You know.
recognizes church.
Yes. So
Yeah.
all of that, that's all like,
It's
of
up in
course, there's some gospel and there's some blues, like there's intertwining with each other. And that's what I love.
I remember when 1500 or Nothing was only like $9.95 or nothing.
Right. Oh my gosh, right.
And you probably don't know this, but for a minute they were $17.50 or nothing. But
Yeah.
Fauntleroy took a week off.
Well, he bought something.
Explain
25%.
I think that's like Herb and I, particularly Herb, is such a fan and supporter of collaborations and encourages those. And explain how that's helped you and what it is. A lot of people don't fully understand 1500 or Nothing. A lot of questions there, buddy.
Oh,
Take
man,
one.
it's a whole lot of questions been asked about it. But you know, it's really like a club. You know,
Like a collective.
Yeah, a collective of great songwriters, musicians, vocal producers, just the whole nine. It's like a little school that everybody go to when they're not in real school.
But it's not a tight thing. It's more of a loose thing. Could you say it's similar to Odd Future?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're one, but at the end of the day, we all have, you know, our different ways we go. And then we get back together when it's time. But then
Who's in it?
me, myself, Lorenz Dobson, Lamar Edwards, James Fauntleroy, Carlos McSwain. We are like the
Key members, gatekeepers.
with some of them.
That's a hard group.
So how often do you guys write together?
We might get together.
Is it ever formal or is it loose?
It's loose,
Okay.
very loose. Like I might call Rance, like, "Hey Rance, what you doing today?" I'm pull up. I'm at the studio. All right, I don't show up. You know, and it's just that's my brother though. Like you know, it's like Brody's doing something else. He's probably with Michael Jackson somewhere.
That'd be a trick I'd like to film.
Oh man, right there by him.
Oh man.
Man, so you do a lot of touring. You toured with Snoop playing bass.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on the road in my youth, and I think it makes its way into every mix I do. How does being in front of people affect your writing and how you create for those same people when they go turn on the radio?
Man, it inspires me because it's just like, oh, this is what they like to move to. This is what bass line they're moving to. This hit riff.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yes.
me, you know, like, oh, the response makes me like, oh, I'm learning.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. And that's a blessing to even be on stage with the, you
Right,
know,
on
like,
top of it.
yeah, and writing too.
Right.
A lot of people don't get that leverage to do so because they mix musicianship or, you know, how you play your instrument with production.
Sure.
You know, you're not supposed to, two totally different things.
Mix
Yeah.
those two. I couldn't agree with you more. I think when, in a weird way, when we go out to our audience
I never thought about
and
that.
we talk to people and we see the things that get inspired by,
Yeah.
it's like just being constantly taught.
Yeah.
And your receptors, and it's weird because you're giving and receiving
Right.
at the same time, right? And it's just this.
I like the instant feedback. When
not
I'm
like
mixing sometimes, like Love Never Felt So Good, that Michael Jackson song, it was 9 months later after I mixed it when it came out.
Right.
I can't wait 9 months. I
Right.
want to see your face, play something,
Right.
read your face, and then if you like it, I'll play more. If you
Right.
don't, we'll try something else.
Right. Yeah.
That
Same way.
length of
That
time
feedback is-
that you have to
yeah.
wait. I do miss that world a lot.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm still fascinated by your story, the sentence that you that I read about you, that music did indeed save your life. I'm fascinated by that sentence. Where were you heading, and how did it save your life? I mean, I think I could say loosely the same thing, maybe a little bit of that.
Right. And I don't want to go too deep with, it saved my life. But, you know, it helped protect it.
It helped you focus.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, it protected me from a lot of things because of my focus.
Right.
You know, like you said. And it just takes me out of the realm where, you know, you have to be the cool guy at school, or, you know, it was just too much pressure already when you're young, is, you know, your peers. And it was just like, yo, like, this is for real. Like,
So in having that passion, when there were choices that could take you off track, you could go back to your passion and stay there, and stay away from the other stuff.
That's my haven.
Is that how it works?
Right.
Yeah, it's your safe place to go be.
A lot of people don't even understand that place,
Right.
you know, because they're so busy worrying about what new shoes are coming out.
Yeah, right.
Also, if you got a couple of million bucks in the bank, it's probably hard to sing the blues than it is when you got nothing in the bank.
Yeah.
In fact, you're negative, you know.
Right.
Well, and
There's
also,
something about desperation that seems to be a good fertile soil for creativity to grow in, you know.
and also music has this sort of extra factor of being cool. You know, the fact that you're working with music and it's safe, it's like, you know, girls like it, dudes respect you. Like, it's got it's a good place to go to. It's
let alone make it.
Yeah, oh Lord, that's a whole lot. Just doing it is but now you made it, that's a whole other one. That's like getting into the NBA.
Right.
You know, I mean, it really is.
Got drafted.
That's how it seems.
I agree.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Carson High.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Well, this could be the worst question I've ever asked, but I'm going to ask it.
It probably will be.
Because you like me. What are you going to do now to stay relevant 10 years from now? What are you going to do now?
That's one of the best questions you've asked.
It's a good question?
That's a great question.
Because I have to think about that constantly.
Yeah, me too.
We all do.
Man.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Like you can't be doing Bruno Mars from 10 years from now, right?
No, not
What are you going to? Well, that's not a bad sentence, but
I get what
you're
you're
take him in
saying,
a different direction. How do you do that? How do you plan for the future? And what should I be doing?
Man, for me, just I'm still learning. You know, I've been signed to a publishing deal since 2008, and that's just a publishing deal. There's different levels in this business that you need to learn. So, being on time is one of them, and you know, and that matters.
It's one I'm still struggling with. Trust me.
That really matters in life, and a lot of people be like, you know, that don't matter. Like, long as you show up, and like, no, if you're on time, you know, you get to soak it all in, get a better vibe probably.
Yeah,
you know, like, so like, I mean, for me, 10 years from now, I can only think 5, right? Sure. And that's what I'm working.
You think you're going to still be using live instruments, or are you going to do more?
Definitely. Definitely. I'm not really, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Is the business side important to you?
That's the most important.
Got it.
And it's
So
not that
just,
it don't take away from my creativity. You know, my managers be like, man, don't worry about it. Like, no, I need to know. Just let me know so I can know what's going on too. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys got it. You guys professional. You've been trustworthy all this time.
Right.
Just let me learn something.
No, that's important.
You know?
I used to tell people that when you had an artist whose contributions, who cared like you care, their contributions to the decision making is really important, because they become vested in the process and they understand why something's working, why something's not working, as opposed to you don't know anything about it and then all of a sudden something's not working and then you start to go, hey, wait, what's up here?
Yeah.
Like when you're a participant, it's better.
Yeah, it's way better for me. Then I get to create better, probably, you know, because it's not on my brain that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And your signature is in your future. You know what I mean? Like you're at the controls of it.
What's the coolest song you're listening to now that you're really sure I've never heard?
The coolest song to me is Farrah Fawcett's Hair.
Ooh, who's that by?
Capital Cities.
You went
there. Yeah, I worked on that. Capital was a really cool guy. Cities, he didn't show up much.
Farrah Fawcett's Hair. I've got to go. Chongor, look that up for us. Speaking of Chongor, you're over in the corner office. You got a couple questions for us?
I've got some good questions this week.
Hit it.
This first one's from Michelle Harrington. On Lucas Graham's 7 years, how much of the instrumentation was acoustic and how much of it was virtual?
7 years was actually, that was live strings, recorded in Copenhagen.
Wow.
The most was probably the drum break, but that was real drums. You know, so live bass, live piano.
Oh, I love it. This is like what we, I hate to say this, but what we grew up on.
Yeah,
like people actually cut live
Conflicted
music.
about all this.
Well, I mean, I like the fact that they get how to do both.
Well, that's my music. Stay away from it.
Then I
Get your own
hate
stuff.
it. Then I hate
Get your
it.
own stuff.
I love country music.
If you need it mixed, I'm good with it.
Okay, cool. Chugger, give us another one.
This next one's from Bob Sims. When you're working with an artist that has such a big musical talent, such as Bruno Mars, how does it influence the collaboration and writing process?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
Man, me and Bruno are friends.
Great answer. Starts there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have a
He's got a high
vibe.
tolerance for you not being perfect every
Right.
idea.
Right.
And you just vibe.
Yeah, we're vibing. Of course, you know, we might get stuck at a gate that we can't enter in tonight.
Right.
But tomorrow night, we probably can take a stab at
Right.
it. Man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but we're cool. So
And in his process with you, is he, obviously he's a writer, is he a producer as much as he's an artist and a performer? Is
yeah, he's the same. Like he likes to get.
he likes to get up in it.
Yeah, like Brody, that guitar lick right there. Do that note, like you know, to the point,
it.
you know, to where the show.
Right. Does he think live? when
Yeah,
he's making
all the
music?
time.
Ah.
All the time. It's about the performance.
Oh, really interesting.
What are you looking at me for?
I don't know. I thought you might be hosting a show or something. I'm just doodling. It's funny. Look at the colors of the stuff you're doing.
I love it.
On Fuck You, CeeLo, great job on that song, man. First time I heard it, I was like, first of all, CeeLo
Great
can't,
record.
he can sing the phone book and it
Oh,
sounds
man.
good, but you took it to another level with him.
Yeah.
How was it like working with
that
him?
was
I like
gospel.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that was a little bit of the
That
church
is
in it. You know.
Absolutely right.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing. You know, he sat down singing this song.
A friend of mine just saw a show and he sat down during the whole show and sang everything.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a guy who's going into his false,
Right.
way up, sitting down
Sitting
with a
down.
compressed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, unbelievable.
It was amazing.
From my perspective, I didn't know a lot about Mark Ronson until Uptown. But man, where's he? Is he really as talented as he seems?
Yes. He's very talented, and I believe that's an understatement.
Like people don't really know.
Yeah, talent, that's an understatement. When your mind is together and you know the different sounds or mics that you used in the 60s and the 50s, that's another talent.
So he's that kind of dude?
Yeah,
That's
like-
like John McBride.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he knows his sound, even for the Uptown special. Like he wanted a particular sound.
And he plays too.
Yes, he plays the guitar.
Wow.
That's him playing on Uptown Funk.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And then the whole notion that you guys actually went to Memphis.
Oh,
and
he flew us to Memphis. I was only supposed to be there for 3 days. I ended up being there for a week.
Really? That's
it
just
barbecue?
It was
Soulville.
barbecue, man. It was I love
chicken.
Oh, barbecue's the
Okay.
best. First, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love barbecue.
Yeah.
Is Neely's a place down there? Isn't Neely's?
I don't know, but I'm getting hungry. That I know, for sure. All right, so here you sit, came from where you came from, you got all this stuff happening, and I would imagine playing at this level constantly keeps you stimulated as a creative person and then makes you want to go farther. Does it work that way?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, vibe is everything. Even being here today is just this is making me want to push myself even
that's
more.
good.
This is
Because he wants to get away from you and I.
Mostly me, I think.
I think it's both of us.
this is pushing me to get out of here. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, really though.
If you come earlier, you can leave earlier. Right?
That's true. Because that's what I do.
That's
That was
physics.
great. That is
That's
physics.
It is
That's
physics.
Einstein.
But yeah, of course, it all inspires me to I was just with Mark Ronson. Oh, Bruno is
Unbelievable.
yeah, and it's just you're supposed to take that for granted.
Unbelievable.
No, never take that for granted, man. No matter how many instruments you play or
Do your kids inspire you?
My children are the best. Yeah, all the
Shout
time.
them out, so we can watch it online.
Oh man, I have Callie.
Yeah, how old?
Callie is 2.
Nice.
She's about to be 3. Dr. Dre's birthday, February 18th.
Very cool.
I got Aiden, that's the firstborn.
Yeah.
He's about to be 5 in July, and I got my daughter, Marilyn.
Nice. Nice.
They all have the last name Brown.
Very, very good.
cool.
And they're all futures are going to be okay. Daddy's doing okay.
Those hedge funds.
It's harder to raise kids when you have money than without. I mean, look how he turned out.
No.
You don't want anybody to be poor, of course, but
Yeah.
being serious, man.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta take it serious.
There's some kids out there of very wealthy people that,
That are completely jacked up.
ooh,
Yeah.
I know. I've had to mix them.
No, I've had to invoice them.
I know.
So, all right, is your arm loose there, sir? It's time for batter's box. You look sort of cocky today.
Waiting on me, you backing up.
Oh, shit, you're throwing heaters today. Is that
yeah.
correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well then let's get ready for batter's box. I think that we have, now understand something. Brody not only is from Compton, he learned all the early skills in Compton. If you know the number of athletes that come out of Compton.
Come on,
absolutely,
talk about it.
Okay, fire.
Talk
Forget
about
about
it.
the music stuff, just the athlete stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step out of the way because I think balls are gonna be whizzing over your head, and I hope they're just baseballs. But that's another point.
Whoa,
Fire
where
away.
did that come
I
from?
don't know, but fire
Let's
away.
rehearse that to throw me off,
know.
right?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
trash talking.
Fire,
Right?
that's- hey,
Classic.
it's hood shit,
Kevin
man.
Garnett
It's
trash
hood
talk.
shit.
It's hood.
It's hood shit. Come on,
Straight
man.
up.
I would have worn my brocade jacket if I knew.
I grew up in El Hood. El Hoodo.
Yeah, you did. All right,
Ybor
fire
City.
up. First one.
Piano.
Coils.
Ooh.
Live drums.
Acoustic.
Bass.
Pickups.
Vocals.
Melody.
Great. I'm losing her.
Ooh.
Help me out, buddy.
No, it's a whole. He's cleaning the clock. I'm not just
No.
losing.
Horns.
Stabs. Come on.
Reverb.
Oh.
The man's good. Guitars.
Fender Strat.
Whew. I was gonna go get the book and just give it to him.
Watch this.
Okay.
Accordion.
Ah.
Synthesizers.
Damn, went right past it.
O'Brien.
Ooh.
Came back hard.
Accordion. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. If you were stranded on a desert island, what piece of gear would you take with you?
I was stranded on a
Man,
desert
that's up,
island. My MPC.
There you go.
60, 3,000, 4,000?
I like the Roger Lynn 60. I like that. I actually like the 2000.
Okay. Old
The
school.
3000 is nice too.
3,000.
Yes.
Well, I concede defeat.
But it was
He was
interesting.
good. He
but
was
it was
good.
obtuse too. It was a
tried-
deceptive bat speed.
I tried to get him to say Lawrence Welk, but it just wouldn't.
I mean, he looks like he's swinging the bat slow, but then the ball would just
I know.
jump off the bat.
I'm pretty sure steroids.
But that's no, it's the Compton thing, man. You don't
Maybe
understand.
steroids in Compton?
No, they don't do that. They they do other deeper things. But
Yeah.
he got past all that.
Amen.
One of the things we had a conversation about before
Thanks,
he came on air that I am really excited about is you believe that education is important and giving back to people.
Yes.
And I think we talked about the possibilities of some things we could do together.
Oh man. Call me. I'll give you guys my personal.
Get
Not the girlfriend number?
Not the girlfriend number.
right, you got to save
My
that.
personal.
Yeah.
My right pocket.
Whoa.
Get ready for that. We are going to
Yeah.
bring some all-stars to you very shortly. I'm really excited about it. I didn't think I was going to get excited about it, but I'm excited about it now. That's going to get planned out tonight, by the way. Look, every week we get graced with incredible human beings that sit to my and Dave's left. I don't think we're rarely let down because we just meet inspiring people, and
Yeah.
it is refreshing. And I want you to know that for all the people that respond to your hits, that pros and guys who've been in the game long as us, we're as inspired by who you are, man.
Yeah.
That is,
Well said.
Thank you.
It is incredible what you've done. The story about your mom, the musicality that you have, the way you are as a dad, the fact that you can be a 360-degree whole human being and bring all that to the table and do well.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, you just gotta believe. And it comes with a lot of consistent, like, hard work.
Yeah.
I even tweeted about it today. I seen a guy, he built a bionic arm out of junk.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, and that just, you know, he said life is hard, dying is easy. And I was just like, that's why babies learn to crawl before they start paying bills.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so
Absolutely.
like, of course life is going to be hard, but you have to have that focus.
Dave, take it home. I can't top that.
I'm pretty sure you took it home, but I'm gonna rewind and listen to what he said, and I'll just add to that. What you said was amazingly beautiful, but sometimes, and I'm making this up, so sometimes it feels like we all want harmony and peace and love and no struggles, no strifes. And I'm not convinced that's an environment that creativity thrives in. I think you don't need tragedy, you don't need deaths in the family, but you need little difficulties every once in a while, like deadlines. I need deadlines, I know that. Or you got the pressure of doing an Adele record. I mean, that is a difficulty. The pressure that I'm sure Brody put on himself had to be massive because he didn't want to let anybody in his family down or anybody around him. Van Gogh said it, Vincent Van Gogh said, never trust the time you're without difficulties. And I don't know if that's true or not. Let me know, but we'll see you next time.